What if I told you that one of the easiest ways to lose control over your life is by opening your mouth? Sounds dramatic? Maybe. But in a world where everyone is broadcasting their every thought, emotion, relationship status, and lunch order, maybe staying silent is the ultimate rebellion. Let's face it, we live in an age of oversharing. We're pushed to post, to confess, to be vulnerable on social media and in real life. We're told to let people in, to speak our truth, to document every win and every failure. But what if I told you that by sharing too much, you're not just being transparent, you're giving your power away? The more you reveal, the more others can judge you, influence you, and ultimately control you. And here's the brutal truth. Not everyone who listens has your best interest at heart. Some of the most disciplined, powerful minds in history, from Stoic philosophers to world leaders, live by one quiet but unshakable principle. Silence is strength. Not everything in your life deserves an audience. In fact, the more you keep to yourself, the more grounded, focused, and powerful you become. Today, we're diving into 5 things you should absolutely keep private if you want to protect your peace, build inner resilience, and take back full control over your life. Because as Marcus Aurelius once wrote in Meditations, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. And what's one of the easiest things we give away for free? Information about ourselves. Let that sink in. Every time you tell someone about your dreams, your income, your heartbreak, or your inner fears, you're handing them a piece of your identity. And whether they realize it or not, that information shapes how they treat you and how you see yourself. But here's the good news. You can take it back. Let's break it down. Ever notice how excited people get when they talk about what they're going to do? I'm launching a business. I'm writing a book. I'm starting a new chapter in my life. We love to announce our ambitions to the world. But here's the psychological trap. When you talk about your goals, your brain releases dopamine, the same feel-good chemical you get from achieving them. That means simply saying, I'm going. To do something big can feel just as satisfying as actually doing it. And that's satisfaction. It's false. It's a trick. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus famously said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In other words, talk less, do more, let your results speak. When you keep your goals private, something powerful happens. You remove outside pressure. You stay laser-focused. You don't owe anyone an explanation. And best of all, you protect the energy you need to actually succeed. So next time you feel the urge to post about your next big thing, ask yourself, are you building your future or just announcing it for likes? We all go through tough seasons. Financial, pressure, emotional breakdowns, health scares, family drama. Life isn't easy, and it's human to seek support. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves to hear your pain. Oversharing your struggles can make you a target. Some people will judge you. Some will pity you. And sadly, some will secretly enjoy watching you fall. Worst of all, some will remember your weakest moments and use them against you. Marcus Aurelius warned us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That doesn't mean you should suffer in silence. Seeking help is healthy, but be selective. Share your pain with those who have earned your trust. The ones who listen without judgment, offer support without strings, and genuinely want to see you rise. Your struggles are sacred. Treat them that way. In the age of social media, it seems like everyone is rich, or at least trying really hard to look like it. Exotic vacations, designer watches, luxury cars, flashy lifestyles are everywhere. But are they real? More importantly, are they wise? The Stoics thought differently. Seneca, one of the richest philosophers of his time, lived simply. He famously wrote, "Wealth is the slave of the wise, the master of the fool." Think about that. When you flaunt your wealth, you attract the wrong kind of energy. Envy, manipulation, greed. People may try to use you, borrow from you, or treat you differently just because of what they think you have. But when you stay quiet about your finances, you move freely, you build quietly, and most importantly, you protect your freedom. Your money doesn't need an audience, it needs discipline. So far, we've learned that keeping your goals, struggles, and finances private gives you clarity, power, and peace. But there are two more deeply personal areas of life where silence can be your strongest shield. Let's keep going. Your personal relationships, whether romantic, family-based, or friendships, are some of the most sacred parts of your life. These connections are built on trust, vulnerability, and emotional intimacy. So why do so many people feel the need to broadcast them to the world? In today's hyper-connected culture, it has become common, almost expected, to share everything. Photos of your partner, updates about your relationship, even arguments or emotional breakdowns. Some people go as far as turning their private conflicts into public drama, hoping for sympathy, validation, or attention. But the truth is, the more you expose your personal relationships, the more you invite interference, judgment, and outside energy into something that should be private and protected. The Stoics, who valued emotional discipline and detachment from outside approval, would caution strongly against this. Epictetus, one of the most practical of Stoic thinkers, warned against over-talking about your personal affairs. He said, "Avoid talking too much about yourself. If you indulge in endless talk, you will be mistaken for someone who talks too much." It's simple, really. When you constantly speak about your relationships, good or bad, you begin to live them through the lens of others. You allow public perception to creep into something that should be nurtured quietly and privately. Imagine your relationship like a fire, beautiful and warm, but also fragile. Oversharing is like opening the windows during a storm. What was once glowing and strong now flickers under the pressure of outside wind. Protect your relationships. They are not meant for public consumption. They're meant to be experienced, not explained. Here's a powerful thought. Not all good deeds need to be seen. In fact, the Stoics would argue that the most meaningful acts are the ones done in silence, with no audience, no applause, and no expectation of thanks. But in today's world, it's a different story. How often do we see people recording their charity, posting screenshots of donations, or announcing every time they help someone? Social media has turned generosity into a performance. But is it still pure when it's public? Marcus Aurelius had something to say about this. He wrote, "Do not expect to be thanked. The reward for a good deed is in having done it." That's the essence of Stoic kindness. Do good because it aligns with your character, not because you crave recognition. When you give from a place of virtue, not ego, you protect the integrity of the act. True generosity doesn't demand attention. It's quiet, humble, and powerful. The moment your kindness becomes content, it starts to lose its soul. And, worse, it starts to shift from service to self-promotion. So the next time you feel the urge to post about your good deed, pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this to uplift someone or to uplift my own image? We live in a time where oversharing is praised, where the loudest voices often get the most attention. But the Stoics knew something the modern world often forgets. Discretion is power. Privacy is peace. Self-control is freedom. When you keep certain parts of your life private, your ambitions, your struggles, your finances, your relationships, and your good deeds, you create space for clarity, focus, and inner strength. You move through life with quiet confidence, unaffected by the noise of the crowd. Because at the end of the day, real power isn't loud. It doesn't need validation. It's calm, it's steady, and it's deeply rooted within you. Now I want to ask you something. Real. Which of these 5 areas do you find the hardest to keep private? Is it your goals, your struggles, maybe your relationships? Drop a comment below. I read everyone. Let's support each other on this path to quiet strength. And if this message spoke to you, hit the like button, Subscribe for more timeless Stoic wisdom. We've got more powerful lessons coming your way. Until next time, stay grounded, stay quiet, stay stoic.